How to get started with long-range mesh network communication. In this video, I'll explain how you can get started with long-range mesh network communication using a LoRa board and Meshcore. LoRa stands for long range. A LoRa board is a device that sends messages using radio waves, so you don't need the internet or a phone network for it to operate. On the board, I'll install Meshcore. Meshcore is open source software to control the LoRa board. Why choose Meshcore? There's other software options, but Meshcore currently works best in my experience. To follow along with this tutorial, you'll need a LoRa board. There's many different types of boards. Here I'm using the Heltec T114, which is a great model for both beginners and advanced users. A USB cable. I'm using a USB-C to USB-A cable. A computer or a laptop with a USB port and an internet connection to download the software. A web browser. The browser should be Chrome or Brave because these browsers allow you to connect to your board via USB, and that's what I'll be using. A mobile phone with an internet connection and Bluetooth. Here too, you only need the internet connection to install the software. So, first up, the Heltec T114. It arrived in a box like this. The board is a small computer about the size of half a bank card. It comes with a small antenna and a few cables. One is an antenna cable, the other are battery cables. I won't be using those in this tutorial. And then there's these pins. You can use the pins to connect other devices to your board. I won't be using the pins in this tutorial either. Start by connecting the antenna. Take the antenna cable, that's the black cable with the copper end, and screw the large end of the antenna cable onto the antenna. Once the antenna is connected, take the other end of the antenna cable. There's a very small connector there, and this connector fits onto that small socket at the end of your board. It's a bit fiddly, so make sure the antenna is connected to the board. Why am I connecting the antenna first? Well, if you turn on the board without an antenna attached, it can overload the radio chip, because the signal won't have anywhere to go. So before you turn on the board, always make sure the antenna is connected. With the antenna connected to the board, you can now install the Meshcore software on your device. To install the Meshcore software on your board, you'll need a USB cable. In this case, I'll use a USB-C to USB-A cable. Why USB-A? That also has to do with the risk of potentially overloading the board. Some USB-C ports are far too powerful, which can damage your board. USB-A should always have the right current, so it's safer. That's why I use this cable to power the board. Plug the USB-C connector into the board's USB-C port. Plug the USB-A part into your computer. This can be a laptop or a PC. If your computer is on, the board is powered and it will turn on immediately. As it turns on, the software that is pre-installed on the device will also start running. The lights also turn on, so it's working. As soon as the screen turns on, I see Meshtastic. Meshtastic is the default software installed on this board. But that is not the software I want to use. So, the next step is to prepare the board for installing new software. Press the button next to the USB cable twice. That's the button at the bottom, which shows a green light. Once that's done, your board is ready to install fresh software. Go to your computer and open a web browser. I'll say it again, use Chrome, Chromium or Brave because you need a browser that can connect to your device through USB, and browsers such as Safari or Firefox can't do that. In your browser, go to the Meshcore website at flasher.meshcore.co.uk. On that page, look for the name of the device, the Heltec T114. Select the Heltec. You'll see a list of options for the software that you want to install. Select Companion Bluetooth. This will prepare your board for sending messages via your phone. You'll do that later. Scroll down and select Flash. You'll see a menu where you can select the device that's connected to your computer. Here, it's the HT something. The section after the HT might be slightly different for you. Your computer will now install the software on your device. This won't take very long. Flashing is now complete. Once the software is installed, your board will automatically reboot with the Meshcore software. That's what you want. You now no longer need to keep your board connected to your computer. You can power it via a standard USB-A adapter plugged into a regular wall socket. This way, you can use your board wherever you want around the house. Alright, you now have a working board. It's now connecting to the mesh network. But there is no keyboard on the device, so you can't write a message on it. Let's change that. You'll use a mobile phone to write messages. Connect your board to your mobile phone. You can do this using the Meshcore app via Bluetooth. Let's install the Meshcore app. Get your mobile phone and go to your App Store. This is an Android phone, so I'm using the Play Store, but on other devices you can also use a different App Store, such as the Apple Store. Search for Meshcore. This is the Meshcore app. Click Install. Depending on your operating system, you may now see different dialogues or nothing at all. I'll give Meshcore permission to use the network. Open the app. You can enable notifications. Now connect the app to your board via Bluetooth. In the app, click Connect in the top right corner. Give your device permission to use Bluetooth. Your board is now listed. Mine is called Meshcore 19C something. That name might be slightly different for you. Click on the name of your board. The app on your phone will then try to connect to it. Get your board again. A code should now appear on your board's screen. If your screen is off, press the top button once to turn it back on. Note the code on your board's screen and enter that code into the app on your phone. The app on your phone is now connected to your board via Bluetooth. Your phone will now sync with your board. Before you can send or receive messages, you still need to set up your radio. Long-range mesh network communication works via radio signals, so you need to have the radio frequencies that people use here in Europe. Go to Settings, select Choose Preset, and then select EU/UK Narrow. Your settings are now all sorted. Click the check mark to approve. You're now ready to use your new Meshcore device. Send your first message. You can use the test channel for this. In your Meshcore app, go to Channels at the bottom of the screen. Then click Settings in the top right corner. Select Add a channel and then Join a hashtag channel. Hashtag channels are public channels of which the name starts with a hash character. This public channel is called Test. People use it to send test messages. This is a QR code for the test channel. If you like to share a channel with someone, you can have them scan this code. Now, type your first message and hit Send. If all goes well, your message will now get picked up by other Meshcore devices, such as repeaters. A repeater is a device that has the sole purpose of receiving messages from others and forwarding them to the rest of the network. That's very handy because that makes it possible for your message to travel quite far. This message has now been forwarded by 3 repeaters. Will anyone read it? Yes, I've got an answer. And that's it. You now have attached your Heltec T114 antenna, installed the Meshcore software, installed the Meshcore app, and sent your first message. Great job! You can now send and receive messages using long-range mesh network communication.